Hi, Lincoln. Everybody is still over at BLK Steels. No, I didn't know if you were over there or not. Hey, Weasel. Can you guys hear the music? I put some music in the background. I am doing pretty good. Starting to feel better, although I shoveled today. My shoulders, my shoulders and my knees when I came in from inside. It's like, oh, haven't had that kind of workout in a while. You can't hear the music? Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. It's kind of a quiet, ambient type of thing, so. Oh, I can't get this lighting. It's like too bright almost. Hello, hi Shelly, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. We are going to give it just a few minutes until, because BLK is still streaming, he ran a little bit late, so, I wanted to show you guys, whoever was here first, and Lincoln, you may know about this. This is a plain 68, but let me grab a twofer pick. Look on the 6 there. See that? Coin Dragon, what's up? So good to see everybody. So I will give people about 2 more minutes and then I gotta start because I got a lot of stuff to go through and I don't want to be running into Joe's time because Joe Durbin is after me. So, yeah, like what is that? I looked it up on the Variety Vista. I didn't see a double die. If you look over here, Liberty looks doubled. I mean, it's definitely something different. I thought maybe it was goop. It's not goop. So, I know we're not talking about Lincoln Cents tonight, but figured I'd throw that up there just to have something on there for a few. Hoogie's Hobby Shop, how are you doing? Hi, guys. So we're going to give everybody just a few minutes to pop in here from the other stream and from wherever else you guys may be hiding. And in the meantime, we'll do a little, pay attention to the screen for a minute. So that's all. I'm just throwing that out there. Hey, Coins for Amateur, Jason, how you doing? Latzenheiser. Did I say that right? I tend to be pretty good with last names, funky last names, especially because most people up here have Finnish last names, and they're always said differently. Yes! Woohoo! Score! I win. Oh, Nightbot's working, and I didn't even know it was working. The alias you set this command to be of subscribe does not exist. Okay, so ignore Nightbot because I was just playing with it. Hi, SJ. Thank you for coming over. It's good to see you. And pardon my lighting situation because I don't have a shade for that lamp, but I need light, but I can't have my main light on in my living room or it's way bad. Yeah, Link and I don't even like really know. I have to mess with it a little bit, play with it. I just kind of messed around a little bit while Shay was doing his stream to see what I could come up with, and I don't know how well I was doing. Obviously not too well because the subscribe one doesn't work right. So, hi Brian, how are you doing? So I will try to say hello. I don't have an email set up on there. My email is on my page though, my PayPal donation. That email works. Jeff Dunn, good to see you. Hey, speaking of Jeff sent me a present. Look at that. I got my first Canadian mint sets. Woohoo! So On top of having my first Canadian mint sets, I have my first toonies, which are the middle ones here. They have the polar bears in it. I don't know if that'll zoom in or not, but gorgeous, beautiful coins, and my first 50-cent Canadians too. But that one's my favorite, even though it's not my favorite hockey team. It's still one of my favorite. If uh, if the team's part of the original six, as long as they're not playing the Wings, I will root for them. So thank you very much. So little tiny mail call in there as well. All right, we're starting to get a few people in here. So hi, everybody. Lemon, thank you for coming to my channel. I feel so yay. Lemon's here. Blockhead, good to see you. And Ty, hello, everybody. I don't know why. Cheapskate, Cindy. Yes, I see all you guys. Willie the Coin Viking. You're new. I don't know if I've seen you before, but nice to meet you. Um, let's see. Cindy, I was going to do something for you real quick here. Let me do that. All right, so I was just showing that he's the wrong guy. He should not be on there. He's totally the wrong guy. Sorry about that. We'll put her up there. Now she's a little chewy. She's a little chewy. All right, let's put this gentleman up here. So we have quite a bit of information to get into, and I'm going to do my best to not bore you, put you to sleep, or make you want to, scratch your ears with an ice pick. I promise. I'm going to try. So, we are getting into Canadian large cents. Some of you guys know I have a couple videos out there as to, what to do, what to look for, and things like that. So, before that, welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Smash that like button if you want. Appreciate it. I do. I really do. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That's always awesome. I'm at 549, so wow, like I'm getting up there. Pretty pumped about that. How I got started really quick into coin collecting was my grandmother used to coin collect, and I didn't know what I had because she used to give them to me, and I'd go and spend them at the party store, the corner store, on candy and stuff. Now I'm kicking myself in the butt. However, I always kind of, if I found a wheat cent or something, I would keep it, but I didn't really get into it except for up until the last year. And I started watching some videos on stacking precious metal and salivate metal. He was a big guy that really got me into it. And I started learning about the differences in doing that, and then then there's the numismatic part of stacking and things like that. And some people just stack cull coins because of their metal content. And as I got more and more into it, I started seeing coin roll hunting videos and things like that. So then I started coin roll hunting, and then it just went from there. My first coin roll was a roll of nickels that I hunted, and a buffalo, a 37 or 36 buffalo popped out, and that was it. I was done. We don't have a local coin shop here. We have a pawn shop. I went there, and I just happened to ask him what he had for Canadian coins because I'm close to Canada, and I ended up finding a Canadian large cent. I want to say it was probably a King George, and I bought that from him, and I went home and I started doing my research and seeing what I could find out about it and about Canadians and all that, and I couldn't find much information, not like we have for US coinage. And so I really was like, somebody's got to start putting some info out there that's a little easier for people to find, because not everybody is like me where they get in depth, I guess is the best. I get a little overzealous, let's put it that way. And so I was like, all right, we got to do something. So that's how this all kind of came about. Now, some of you guys have called me your Canadian lady, or, I'm the expert. And trust me, I am not an expert. I'm not. I just read a lot, and I do my due diligence to find out my answers the best I can. I'm not an expert, but I'm going to give you the best information that I have for anybody who wants to start collecting Canadian large cents. So, a little quick overview of history is in 1858 and 1859, Canada was still a province of Britain, part of the UK. And then as of 1876, with the Canadian large cents, it was considered a dominion. So 1858 and 1859 are the very first 2 years that they did the Canadian large cents with Queen Victoria on them. And this is strictly for Canada. This is not for Upper Canada, Lower Canada, or any of their provinces. It's just strictly Canada. I haven't even doing New Brunswick and all the different provinces is there's so much. Canada has a ton of really cool old coinage, and we haven't even gotten into that yet because I'm trying to get this harness down. So anyway, the Vicky cents basically go from 1858 to 1901, and there's quite a few years in there where they don't have any coins made. So you might be collecting them and you're like, why on earth can I not find an 1885? They didn't make one. They didn't make any from 1860 to 1875. 1876 was the next year. And the reason for that was because in 1859 they made almost 10 million of those coins, and people hated them. They were too light and they did not like them. The banks were actually trying to sell them at like 20% of their value. They were giving them to other provinces to use. So they had a bit of a stigma for that 15-year period. Hi, Mike Badger. Good to see you. Beth, Ant. I see you. I said hi to Ant, but I'll say hi again. CJ, good to see you. Ronnie Joe. So, what was where was I? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so yes, missing years. There will be missing years in the Victoria section of Canadian large cents. So, she passed away in 1901, 1902, King Edward. This is this gentleman here, this handsome fellow. He's quite beard-tastic and a nice big crown, full head of hair. In 1902 to 1910 is when we have coins for him. Now, in 1908, just a quick little history here, 1908 was the first year that the Royal Canadian Mint made Canadian coins. Before that, all of any denomination Canadian coins were made in Britain. They were made either London or they were made in Birmingham at the Heaton Mint, and those coins will have an H mint mark. So that is something. It is on the reverse, and something to always keep an eye out for when you're doing Victorias. And there is one, King Edward, the 1907 H. It's the only H mint mark for King Edward, and it is highly sought after. That one definitely has a much bigger premium than any of the other King Edwards do. So, after that, we have King George VI. No, I'm wrong. King George V. Pardon me. I just wrote George, so, and that was from 1911 to 1920. Hi, Brian, Anna. In 1920, they have large cents and small cents. That's when the small cents started. And the large cents command a little bit more of a premium than the 1920 small cents do. But it's not a huge jump, but it's nice to have both. So we get into and real quick, I just wanted to say, for those of you who are looking for codes or anything like that, make sure you're keeping an eye on the screen. I will show it at the end of the stream if you don't want to try and be that, proactive about it. But if you just kind of keep an eye to the screen, you might see it here and there. So, Why do we want to collect Canadian coins when 99% of us, at least right here, are from the United States? Well, a few reasons. One, there are awesome northern neighbors. Um, no, David, I will show it a few times. Don't worry. And I will make sure everybody can get it later. And that's my dog dreaming back there, so don't mind her. Oh my god, that's too funny. So, other than the fact that it's Canada and they are our awesome neighbors, they have some amazing coins. At least coins are always, for each person it's a little different. There's a certain coin that just really grabs your attention, and you just really love the look of it. Um, that may be a reason why. Yeah, she's dog dreaming, and hopefully she got the squirrel. But the other big reason I think is they're affordable. Now, I did do a little bit of money checking, and just from a red book standpoint, which no, you're not supposed to use red book as what your coin's worth. There's other better ways to do that because that is always changing. However, the U.S. large cents tend to be fairly expensive. Um, as far as I can tell, the cheapest you're going to pay is maybe 40 or $50, and that's going to be a pretty worn looking coin. And, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. That's to each their own. However, you want to collect and what you can do and what you can afford, just do it. That's all personal and it's subjective to what you can do. However, I really like them because they are very affordable. Um, so I did a little math research today. One thing I do when I am looking at auctions, either online, YouTube, Facebook, eBay, wherever, is I always check market value of US dollar to Canadian dollar, or actually, I think you have to do it vice versa to make it a little easier. So Canadian dollar to the US dollar. Tonight, which was just a couple hours ago, 76 cents of our dollar is equal to one Canadian dollar. So, for a Victoria, an 1858, which is first year issue, and an F12, which is a fine grade. So it's a decent coin. It's not the best looking coin on the block, but it's not horrendous. Um, you're looking at paying $83.60 in American money. So that's a little expensive. That's one of the more expensive ones in a fine grade. Actually, I think that might be, unless it's a specific variety, that is probably the most expensive one. Now, in an 1859 in a F12, you're looking at paying $8.20. So, unless you have one of those specific variety error types that are extremely sought after, and there's a lot of them too. Um, so from 1876 up to 1901, the cheapest, and let me phrase that, that's the cheapest for an F12. And this is all, in American money. Now, when you go to coinsemincanada.com, that is one of the best sites to use. It is up to date, and they change it all the time. That site is in Canadian dollars. So you have to remember that, and that's why I say always check to see what market value is. So if market value, the Canadian dollar to us is 78 cents, then do your math. If it's 77 cents, do your math. Average, you could say 75 cents. It bounces. Like 3 weeks ago, it was 77. Tonight, it was 76. So it's pennies, but just do your math. So a 1901 and an F12 would be $3.71 on a Queen Victoria. So something to always make sure you check is the market rate and what they're asking, and learning, getting an idea of what the grade for that particular coin is. Now, the most expensive in American dollars is way more money than most of us will ever have in our hands, unless it's, you know, because our house burnt down, we need to buy a new house. So, um, just remember, you know, to check that. On the King Edwards, at an AU 50, you are looking at spending, you know, between $10.56 and $21.88 on any given year. Now, if it's a 1907H, you're looking at spending somewhere right around $66.88 for an AU50. On a King George, that price goes down significantly. Um, it goes down about half. So you're looking between $5.24 and $14.28 for an AU coin. So you just gotta watch what you're doing and where you're buying. I've had some people ask, is it worth it? Should I be paying this? Obviously, if it's something you really want and it goes in your collection and you have the few extra bucks that they're asking for, fine. I can't see these, if they're in a decent grade, losing any value. So that is that part. The other thing let's see. So the Victoria years are 1858, 1859. Then you had a 15-year break. A 7 over the 8. I don't know off the top of my head, Brian. There's so many different varieties. It is insane. And I have not learned them all. And then you have 1876. Then they had another break. And then 1881H, 1876H, 1881H, and the 1882. Another break. They were really not, they'd make too many. And then an 1884. And then they took yet another break. 1886 to 1888. They didn't make any in 1889. And then 1890H to 1901. Now, 1900 has an H and a 1900 with no mint mark. And that is the only year of the Victorias that do not have, or that has both. It has a mint mark and one without. 1876 would be probably, it would be one of the Providences, unless it's strictly a Canadian 76H. So you would have, it would say on it if it was, it might say PEI, but I think they say Prince Edwards. I'd have to look in my book and see for sure. But the 1876H is, and it will say they're different looking, so it's not like they're hard to tell the difference between the Canadian and the Providences. All right, and then Edward, I know I did this, but just to refresh, 1902 to 1910, and then you also have in 1907, they did both. They have an H and a no mint mark. And then King George was 1911 to 1920. So, and those have no mint marks. The next pot, ooh, an Australian. The Australians look a lot like the Canadians. They are pretty. I like them. They are very, very pretty. So we're going to go into where should you be looking to grade your coin? Should you be grading it? Well, personally, I say if you are looking at your coin and you're, oh wow, okay, well this one's pretty nice and it's woody, and you find, you know, some really spectacular variety or something, then do your own due diligence and start reading. Read everything you can when it comes to grading, because just like American coins, it's not cheap to do if you want to send it in to actually get it slabbed. Now, there are a couple different places in order to do this. So coinsemincanada.com, which is my absolute favorite website to go to, is one. They have everything you could think of on there, including grades and by the coin. So if it's a Queen Victoria large cent, it'll tell you what to look for the grade. If it's a King Edward, it will tell you what to look for on that coin. It is an awesome, awesome site. And plus, on top of that, they do have message boards so you can sign up. And if you have questions, you can post pictures, and people are on there a lot. Um, the other thing, which I have here, and I know I've shown before, but this particular edition is like one of the holy grails for Canadian large cents. Um, this is the Charlton Standard Catalog. This one, I believe, was from 2011. It says right there. Hopefully that's not backwards for you guys. And it has everything, including grading on it. So, very, very nice. Oh, and just so you know, because normally I don't have swear words taken out or anything like that, I did do some with swear words and stuff, and hopefully it's not getting really bad. If it is, I'll turn it off. But that is one of the better books that I have found. The Charlton Standard website, and you want, if you're doing large cents, it's volume 1 from 2011. I don't know why it did that, but it deleted you, and I'm not sure why, Aunt. So, let me see if I can't get in here real quick and turn it off. The other place that is good is Haxby's. Now, Haxby's, I believe they also do their the Canadian coin regular book, kind of like a red book that they put out every year. Charlton's puts one out every year as well. So that's something to also look into. I know he is the author for it. All right, we're Xing out Nightbot. All right, hopefully that will help. Sorry about that, guys. But Haxby's also has a website called VickyCents.com. Now, if you started collecting and you start getting 1859s, there are an ungodly amount of varieties. Huge amount of varieties. They used over 200 dyes on that year. It's mind-boggling how many different, and they're not technically varieties, VICKY, CJ. But because they're error coins, that's what they call them. And you can actually go on there and start learning how to catalog, and it's only for 1859s. But it is a wealth of knowledge on that website too. It is so cool, and I have spent a lot of time going through there and learning how to catalog my 1859s, and that's what I have been working on. Any examples? Well, actually, of course. A girl comes prepared. Ish. We'll add the ish in there. Of course, my light's not on, so it's a little dark. So, this beautiful specimen I got from Mr. Cheapskate Coins, and I was thoroughly happy when I did get it. So, I know my scope's a little close, but when you go onto that website, this one is the variety PC59-77A3. Now, there are people who are way further versed in this than me, and you tell them, what the hell? Why is Nightbot still doing that? You got a brass 59? I don't know why you're still here. I would be on vacation. However, this coin, ended up being a lot better than what I had thought. Now, when Cheapskate auctioned this off, I noticed this die crack, and I said, oh, and so I have to have it. $7. No, Aunt, sorry. But the die crack goes from the D, and it goes all the way into the G, and there's one down, and it makes a spike head, and actually goes right to the laurel leaf in her wreath there, and then it goes all the way down there, almost reaching the R in Regina. It has a triple punched G, a triple punched C. There's just some amazingly cool stuff going on with this, and all of that you have to take into account. So I literally had to write down every die crack and everything I found. Then you have to start looking at the loops on the back. So just a real quick lesson. There are 16 leaves on the reverse of the Canadian large cents. The one right here above the N, and I don't have my, would BLK call it, his Ken toothpick. I don't know, Aunt, why it keeps timing you out, and I'm so sorry. Right here, that's leaf 1, 2, and it goes clockwise, so 2, 3, 3, 4. So this would be leaf 16, 15, 14. You see that big retain cud? They don't consider it a retain cud. It's considered a die crack. I don't know why, but they also don't call them, when you find die clashes, they don't really call them die clashes on some of these. They call them ghosting, which is a little bit different. So it's gotta be. I'm sorry, Aunt. I was just messing with it, so obviously I missed something. But as you can tell, on the N, you have some repunch going on here, on the E. There is a tiny bit on the 5 up here. I don't have it close enough. There is some repunching on the 9, but it is not one of the major 9 varieties. It is a low 9, but it's not a major. Yeah, they call them die cracks, and it's because the dies were breaking left and right. And you'll have some of these 59s that are just tore up. Orientation. Now, I'm not on that variety part yet, Lemonhead. I'll get there. I'm almost there. So, anyway, on so Haxby's for VickyCents.com for the 1859s. Now, that is just a little quick overview of, it's fine, Lemon, of the 1859s. On the 1858s, okay, and you do want to check these on all years anyway, just because. U.S. coins, when we want to flip them so that they're upright both ways. So you have a Lincoln cent. Here, let me grab a Lincoln cent. You have a Lincoln cent that's heads up. See, he's heads up. You want to flip them vertical. And then the memorial building is upright, right? Okay, so that's how we do ours, vertical. On the 1858, one of the major varieties is the orientation is just like the American cent. Most Canadians go horizontal. You flip them horizontally, and that is how they should be. However, you can find them where they will be flipped like American coins, and that is a big variety to find. On the 1858, the other big one to find is a doubled 5. So you always, and it's not technically doubled, it's repunched. So you want to look at the 8. Let's see, I have an 1858 here, and see if your 5 is repunched. Mine is very worn. 1858s are not easy to come by, and they are spendy. I would love to have a better one. I just can't afford it right now. So that is another big variety for the 1858. Now, the other Vicky Cent big variety, I'm going to throw this one out there. Actually, there's 2 more. 1881H has what's called a single serif N. So on the obverse, and I keep flipping them like American coins. I've been working on pennies. I work on pennies for a while, and I start flipping them wrong. And then I work on Canadians, and I'm flipping our pennies wrong. On the Regina, the N, this is not in 1881, but I can still show you. The bottom serif of the N, right here, will be gone. There will not be this part on the inside. And on Canada, the same deal. The bottom serif right here on the inside of the N will be gone. And that is called a single serif. That is a huge, huge variety. That is worth a pretty chunk of change. Kind of like, yeah, just like a peg leg Ike, which I have a couple of those too. So those are nice to find. Now, on a 1891, this is one I'm still learning, and I don't know if I have one or not. I doubt it, because I just don't think I'm that lucky. We have what's called large leaf, large date. We also have large leaf, small date. We also have small leaf, small date. And we also have two different obverses. There are 4 different obverses for the 1876 to 1901 Victoria cents. And you have to learn which ones are which. Now, obverse 1 to any of the other 3 obverses is very, very simple. Because obverse 1, except for she doesn't have the crown, looks like this. And you're always looking at her chin. And her chin will look like that, but the truncation of the bust, which is this little part here, will actually be kind of pointed down. Yeah, right here, because she was not a thin lady. She liked her food. She was very much into her dinner. So, um, so that is something you also need to learn, and it's really nice. The Charlton Standard Book does have those different obverses listed and what you can find. Let's see if I can have varieties here. See if we can't find them real quick. If I can't, we'll do it a different day. Oh, that's pattern coins. No, I don't have it marked, so I'm not gonna go through and try and find it. But we can always do that. This would be a good video for another time. 4 different obverses for Miss Vicky, and it's from 76 to 1901. So on the 1891, you want to find large leaf, small date. The obverse 2 is about $20, give or take, less than the obverse 3. So that would be the harder one to find, but finding a large leaf, small date really doesn't matter. If you find one, you'll be happy. It is definitely worth a little bit more. And I could show you the difference here if I can find. Let's see. Well, let's just show you a King George. So if you look at the leaves, these are small leaves. This is the wrong coin. That's why. I'm sorry. Okay, 1891. Actually, that's a good way to show you. These are large leaves. See how the leaves almost touch the loop and the denticles? Those are large leaves, and they fill up the space fairly well. And this is an 1858. There's that. And then this is a King George. So, those are small leaves. Those are large leaves. So on the 1891, we definitely have large leaves. The small date is what's killing me, and I can't figure it out because it's really, really not a huge difference. I don't know if I have one or not. I doubt it. I haven't been able to figure it out, Lemon. If you know, school me, because like I said, I am not an expert. I am learning. It's spacing of the numbers. Okay, so it's large leaf, large date. Good to know. I didn't know, and I wasn't sure. The only thing I did find on it was it had a repunched N in Regina, and we'll look at that. And you can tell, it's kind of hard because I don't have it real close, but you can tell up here on the N a little bit right there. So stuff that you need to look for, those are things, those are your big varieties, your big ones. 1859 has so many, I can't even go into them all. Coins in Canada, you'll get a list like this, and that's just the major ones. That's not even all cataloging to see which one you have. And then For Edward and George, there's not a huge amount of varieties that I have been finding. I have been looking, have not seen a ton of them, but they, I'm sure there are a few, and I'm sure there are plenty to be found yet. I just have not found them myself. And I haven't found a bunch listing. So, 1907H, King Edward, not a variety, just very sought after. It's not a high mintage. I think somebody said it was like 800,000. So that would be one of the lower mintages of the whole series, where 1858 is the lowest at 400 and some. So finding one of those and getting one in any really good grade, you're going to pay for it. Um, mine is you know, mine is a good, maybe a little bit better, and I'm okay with that because I don't have that kind of money. I would love to, but I don't. So real quick here, what? It's 47. I still got 13 minutes. Wow. I'm gonna try and cut out just a few minutes early. Um, right? I'm totally. I do, but I will have to wait and see what my pocketbook determines because I had to go drop $100 on shovels today because we got 12 inches of snow today. A little salty about it, but it is what it is. So, what else? Canadian coin grading. That was something I wanted to touch on. Hi, Uper Digger. Are you enjoying the snow? I was just fussing about it. I am up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Beth. I live about 15, 20 miles from Lake Superior. Me neither, dude. I mean, I don't mind the snow per se. I'm not happy about the shoveling. And Uper Digger is one of my neighbors. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So for Canadian coin grading, we have a few different places and whatnot you can do. Of course, you have your lower grade places, ANAC and what is it, ICG, I think. You can always send coins there to get them graded. However, when you were talking Canadians, and you know, if you want good graded stuff, we always have our R's, NGC and PCGS. But being that they're Canadian, I would almost want to see. Let's see the 1891 again. Okay. There's two different Canadian coin grading services. ICGS is actually in Canada, but they're not known to be very good. So something to, think about when you're sending things. We have CCCS, which is the Canadian Coin Service. Uh-oh, where did I put it? Hold on one second here, guys. I'm sorry. I have low light right now, so it's no glasses on. Anyway, CCCS is, it's over here. Fairly common coin grading. They have their own website. You can go on there. They'll tell you what it costs and everything like that. It's not super duper spendy per se, but it's not cheap either, especially if you're sending it from the U.S. to Canada. They charge a bit extra. Fair enough. Post is a bit more too. But the big one, which is considered the gold standard of Canadian coin grading, is ICCS, which is International Coin Certification Service. So they are the ones that are really going to give you the best grade from what I have seen. Now, I can't say that anything to that with my own personal experience, because I have never sent anything in ever to be graded. Just doing research and reading what other people have said and whatnot. But ICCS is for Canadian coins because they're based out of Canada. Now, I also did read that they are more on they're going to grade it based on the meat. They're not going to grade it on errors and varieties, as far as I know. Now, don't hold me to that, because they may have changed things, but that is what I have been told and what I have heard. So, something to think about and look into if you are interested. Now, ICCS does not have a website. If you do want to talk to them, you have to call them on the phone. They are a little picky, I guess, is the best way to put it. So, but I've heard that they've loosened up a little bit. So that's another thing to think of. If you do want to send coins in to get graded. So, on top of that, I hope everybody's being good. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to kind of keep an eye, but I have 2 giveaways to do. And for those of you who haven't noticed a code popping up, and the last time I forgot it and left it up, definitely, I'll have that up for you. Thank you, CJ. I'm nervous, and it's not like I'm not new to streaming live. I don't know why. Just nervous. So, giveaways. Let's do some giveaways. I have 2 giveaways. So, I gotta turn this on real quick, and it might make me look really bleh, but hold on just a second here. Get my coins together, because I got them all discombobulated now. That's a word for you. Love that word. I love the history on coins too, which is a big reason of why I got started into doing it, because I absolutely love the history. Alright, so my first giveaway, let's see, make sure I didn't bugger up the dates. Oh, I did too. How lucky is that? I have 2 1913s to do in a giveaway, and of course I grabbed the 2 that are both 1913s. Thank you, Beth. Yes, I know. You like them too. Alright, so first giveaway we have, let me get Mr. 1891. You know, that one coin. Let's get that one out of here. So, first one, we have 1912. This would be King George V. Actually, I'm going to do this real quick. Oh, I got 6 minutes. Alright. Now, I am on live chat, so make sure everybody is on live chat. We have 1912 King George. Okay. Horizontal flip. And in very nice condition, by the way. Definitely, you want to look at the beads in his crown. The center beads, which they're a little worn, but you can still see separation. You want to look above his ear, his mustache, and his bow. Those are some of the main defining things you want to look at. So this is a very nice coin. So that's a 1912. And then I'm going to end up throwing that one in there and going, a 1913. This one there. Not a bad coin at all. Pretty nice. And they don't flip that way. So as you can see here, this one's still in pretty good. Yes, his mustache. Mustachio. You can't see any beads here. You can't see any separation. This has all been worn. This bead, big bead up here is worn. These ones are still good. This is a little smoother through his crown. You know, the high spots are flatter. So these are things to look for when you're looking at. But his bow's still pretty nice. So the high points are getting worn though. So that's the first giveaway. So first giveaway, we're going to do some questions, little trivia, see if you guys were listening, because I said this earlier, and you can Google it. But the first person, live chat, the first person who can tell me what year Canada minted the first Canadian large cents will get the 1912 and the 1913. Hopefully this don't go too long. All right, I'll give you guys give you guys a little hint. I'm getting all kinds of answers here. Remember I said what year Canada minted? 90210. No, that was a show back from when I was like in high school. I was addicted to it. 1701. No, Youper. Way, way, way off. We're talking, all right. Okay, everybody stop. Just stop. 1900 to 1910. Go. I'm waiting. It's almost there. Oh, stop. We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I know we're on a 20-second delay. I'm going to make sure we got the right year. Right year. Oh, we only got 3 more minutes, too. I saw... Why isn't it scrolling up? Yeah, everybody's going to stop because I got to look here. 1909. S. Ross. 475. You are the first winner. 1908 was the first year Canada minted the Canadian large cent. So, real quick, because we only have 2 more minutes, I'm going to put this on my head right here. So, yeah. I can't write, 478. Okay, so the second giveaway, and I'm going to do this really quick because I just threw these all over the place. You are going to get a 1909 King Edward. You are also going to get a 1913 King George. And another 1913. What did I do? I had that many 1913s. Okay, I'll have to put a different year in there so you're not getting 2 of the same year. Okay, so second trivia question. Lick it and then it will stick. Oh, yeah. But then I can't see. And it's not a card. I used to play blind baseball, you know, that, and I'm sorry if there's any minors, but that drinking game. So, second trivia question, really quick like. King Edward and 2 King Georges. I'll put a different year in there. You already have the year. So, you know, that's half the battle. Now, what was the first coin and the monarch minted in Canada? So who would the monarch have been in 1908? Because you already know it's 1908. And what was the first coin that the Canadian Royal Mint minted? And go. I want the monarch and the coin. It is not a penny. I see quarter, I see a nickel. I don't need the year. I need the monarch and the coin, and it's not a penny. Anybody? We're at 10 o'clock. Edward Dollar. Close. Close. So close, Youper Digger. Oh, Edward Half. Syracuse Dave. You were the first one. 50-cent piece in 1908, which would have had King Edward VII on it. So, Syracuse Dave and S. Ross, you guys, my email is on the screen. Send me an email with your address. I will send them out to you. Syracuse Dave. You got the 2, you got the 3. So, thank you guys so much. Let's go see Joe, And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much.